Hey guys, Desolate Magic here, and spoiler time, even though I'm starting this recording 40 minutes after midnight. Wow. I had a bunch of important crap to do today, and spoilers are not on my list of important crap to do. Obviously, I have zero interest in Standard Constructed after this garbage launches, and somebody sent me one of the cards from the pool today, and now Standard's a joke, but now it's not even a funny joke. They are going to have to ban so many things, and if you're like, oh, it's not as bad as it used to be, they just set a record for the most bans in 6 months ever. I think they've actually set a record for the most bans in a calendar year, and we're halfway through it. Total bans in all formats is like 30-something. They're out of control. All of the sets are out of control. Everything they've done lately, they've had out of control, broken, overpowered crap in, and they admitted they did it on purpose. So if you still are one of the people who cannot see that, I can't help you. You just do not know what the hell you're talking about. You don't know what standard healthy meta would look like. Just shut up. So first off, absolute disgusting power creep, we've got Meteorite. It's a 5-cost artifact that they put in sets when they have an empty slot, and that's it. I mean, when it enters battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target, and you can add 1 mana of any color. You know, that 5-cost single universal ramp. This card is useless. I wouldn't even draft the thing. There was a hole in the set, they filled it with a Meteorite. What more do you want me to say? So next up, there's Traitorous Greed. It's a 4-cost sorcery, gain control of target creature. Oh, because we don't have enough of that bullshit in the game already. Until end of turn, untap the creature, gains haste until end of turn. Add 2 mana of any color, because why not? I mean, Witch's Oven is free, I don't really see the need. And then at the end of turn, sack it with Witch's Oven and don't give it back. I am telling you guys, they are going to have to ban Witch's Oven very shortly after the set comes out. They have to. There is no option. They have to ban it. So another obnoxious stealer card. I'm having PTSD over that stupid blue guy, so screw it. Next up we have Alzamiento de Gorrk. Oh, no wonder I didn't know that word. It's Gorrk's Uprising. I use that word all the time in my daily Spanish. Anyway, it's a 3-cost enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, if you control a creature with power 3 or greater, 4 or greater, draw a card. Okay, that's nice. I like that. And then creatures you control have trample. Okay, that I don't like for 3. That's a little much. And then whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Saw that coming. We already have cards that are redundant with these exact effects. Like to the number, to the letter. So them doubling down on all that, giving green way the hell too much card draw, while also trying to push trample as a mechanic in Ikoria, this is a disgusting power creep right here. Now, if you're playing mono green, every damn creature better be hexproof or you're going to lose the game, because welcome to 2020. But bare minimum tier 2, like trample, draw everything with, I was about to name one card, then I'm like, well, what about? So, this card will be crazy with Barkhide Troll, Ozolith Shadow Spear, Paradise Druid and Mutate, Fully Grown Hydra's Growth, Iron Scale Hydra, Stonecale Serpent, Voracious Hydra, Hydroid Crisis. I think I just named the whole deck. Oh, plus all of the Ikoria Trample as a mechanic cards too, and probably some more card draw. Hell, put in the Great Henge, why wouldn't ya? Beast Whisper and Questing Beast? Why not? There you go, I just built you a whole deck, you're welcome. So anyway, next up we got a Warden of the Woods. It's a 6-cost 5/7 treefolk for that epic treefolk tribal. It's got vigilance, and whenever it becomes the target of a spell or ability the opponent controls, you may draw 2 cards. I love that, I love it. It's not hexproof, it's not indestructible, it's just good. They want to get rid of it, they got to pay the toll, especially for something that costs 6. Like, you need reparations if they blow up something that costs 6, although it is green, it's basically 3. 6 is the new 3, okay? 6 would have been about 5 like 4 years ago. 6 is now officially 3 in 2020. I love this thing. There's so many good green creatures, and this is the A set to come out. I don't know if anybody will play it, but I love this. It's even spell or ability, okay? Bounce this back to hand, Teferi. I dare ya. Oh, this card, it's so perfect of a card design. It's so perfect. Why can't every card be like this? Where it's like, amazing ability, hyper powerful but conditional, and it's just like a little backup plan, but then it's still solid. You don't need that trigger to go off for the card to be good. It already hits for 5, it already has vigilance. They built the perfect creature. Why can't every creature be like this? Once in a while, they absolutely knock it out of the park and print something amazing like this, and then the rest of the time they just phone it in and print some pushed bullshit. Speaking of that, remember in the last spoiler video where at the end I said I wouldn't be surprised and I was half joking if they printed Sunbond? What I meant was, I wouldn't be surprised if they printed a functionally identical card to Sunbond, but made it cost 1 less and put it in the uncommon slot. That's what I actually meant, because light of fucking promise. Well, apparently if I could predict the future by sarcastically saying broken crap that they'll put in the set, Celestial Mantle, everybody. It's gonna be, they're gonna make it cost 3 instead of 6. It's gonna be called Celestial Go yourself, and it's going to say quadruple instead of double. If you're not familiar, enchanted creature gets +3/+3. Whenever enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, double its controller's life total. Yeah, they're going to print it in the common slot for 3 mana, colorless actually, all colorless, and it's going to quadruple the life total. That's an official leak from my psychic powers. So if you're not familiar with Sunbond or haven't read the damn card yet, enchanted creature has whenever you gain life, put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature. Remember, a Johnny's Pride Mate is completely out of control. Heliod is completely out of control. That deck is tier 1 all day. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody has the balls to bring it to a tournament. Boo-hoo, I made it to Mythic with it. Get over it. And honestly, with that stupid new vampire that they just printed, black-white life gain is going to be where it's at. Especially with some new beast cards like Grasp. So yeah, this is literally Sunbond, but for 1 less mana. It's word for word identical. So instead of every time I gain, 5 life off of a giant lifelinker that doesn't actually have lifelink but Heliod, I gain 5 counters on this creature now, instead of 1 counter. I mean, it's still an aura. You still would have to strap it to something with like hexproof or something to really, really drive it home. But this is still just horribly broken. And is it really like a 2-for-1 removal risk if white is outdrawing them 2-to-1? Because Mark wanted white to have card draw now. And the card draw is based on life gain. Just like the other permanent we have where card draw is based on life gain already. Any deck that runs this is going to be absolutely batshit crazy. And anybody who plays anything vaguely white in draft is just auto-win. Just 100% win chance. This is truly and utterly disgusting that they would push the game to this power level. It's unreal. Next up, reprint of Riddle Form. Oh boy, it's a 2-cost enchantment. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may have Riddle Form become a 3/3 Sphinx creature with flying in addition to its other types until end of turn, and then you could pay 3 and scry 1. I remember somebody doing something with this last time it was printed, but I wasn't that impressed. It was kind of gimmicky, so we'll see. Next up, we got Luftige Verweigerung. That was terrible. I know what Luft means in German. I'm very proud of myself. So it means lofty denial. Yeah, if you think the power level in this set isn't pushed to hell and back, then you're in Verweigerung. So it's a 2-cost instant, counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. Well, that's pointless. If you control a creature with flying, counter target spell unless its controller pays 4 instead. Oh boy, more support for blue-white flyers. I'm just ecstatic over that. Just pay the additional mana and counter the spell 100% of the time. People have like 50 mana available to them on any given turn. Next up, we got a card so blurry I can barely even pronounce it incorrectly. It's Vengeur Sangfeli. Or is it Fwei? I don't know. That is a lot of damn vowels in a row. So it's Vengeful Leafkin. Somehow that translates to that. And, in fact, I think the root word saying implies blood relative. That's actually interesting. Word etymology with this. Anyway, it's a 4-cost elemental druid, because we need more elementals in the game. You can tap it and add 1 green. I assume it's supposed to say 4 each. It literally says poor. Come on. This translation has some issues. So it's supposed to say tap, add 1 green for each creature of power 4 or greater you control, which is kind of neat. I mean, it's kind of limited, and he costs 4, like whatever. That's probably appropriate for at least a green deck. I mean, it's damn good. Don't get me wrong. It's really good. But, like, if you already had that many chonkers in play, do you really need more mana at that point? It's beware of the cards where it's like, if you're really, really, really probably already going to win because of the board state, then, do something really big. Well, you probably didn't need to do something big because you already would have won. Beware of cards like that. They're not as good as you think. But if you pay 7 generic plus 1 red for 8 total, then it deals damage equal to its power to target player or planeswalker. Which, I mean, would be 4, I guess. I mean, unless you want to start strapping equipment to him or something. Not really if you're going to tap him for mana. I mean, he's Mr. Swiss Army utility guy. He does some stuff, but none of it really has anything to do with each other. I tell you what, I'd be losing my shit if he was in Simic colors, if they dropped the red and added blue. Because you could probably get away with that. I mean, with that untap at end of turn shit, probably 5 times a turn. That's 25 damage per turn. Or 20 damage. I can math. Well, let's be honest. Shadow Spirit would be 25 and you'd get lifelink out of it. I mean, if we're going to be perfectly honest. Yeah, cards like this would be fun and interesting additions to an interesting deck if it wasn't such a broken state of standard. That's a shame. Next up, we got some really funny artwork here. I just love this. Conspicuous Snoop. It's a goblin. The funniest art is on goblins. We all know this. I mean, look up Goblin Diplomats. Probably among my favorite art in the whole game. They're just mooning them and then the flavor text. Oh my gosh. So it's a 2/2 for 2. I'd say 2 Devotion in red, but red Devotion basically doesn't even exist. Even with Cavalier, nobody can make it go. It has like card support of like 2. Anyway, play with the top card of your library revealed, which is really never a good idea. And you may cast goblin spells, but only goblin spells from the top of your library. Okay. It's pretty narrow. This would get out of control real quick in a goblin tribal deck. I just haven't seen one lately. I doubt you could pull it off in standard. I feel like this card had to have been printed for like Commander and other Eternal formats. And then, see, the third part here is where the problem comes in. As long as the top card of your library is a goblin card, this card right here has all activated abilities of that card. There have probably been 1,000 goblins printed in the game. Somebody's going to find something wacky to do with that. I mean, right now, even just in standard, like every time you cast a 1-cost red goblin, you could have Steamkin out and then put a counter on it and then cast the next goblin because your whole deck would be 1-cost goblins. The question is, how would you get out Runaway Steamkin? Now, I know in Eternal how I would do it. That's for damn sure. There's plenty of ways to do that with 0 lands. I am not kidding. It would be mulligan heavy, but you could do it. That or just, throw in 10 mountains and just hope you don't hit one. You'd probably get a string of like 5 to 10 goblins in a row, which might be enough to win the game, especially if they like all have haste or whatever. And the best goblins cost more than 1, but I feel like that would be something a person could do. That or something with like ETB plus sacking and cloning and like some loop there. I mean, anytime you can free cast stuff in a row, you can do some damage, especially in red. There was a card in Khans of Tarkir, I think it was one of the sieges. And then mix that with like that like earthquake card or whatever, where whenever something enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage or whatever. There's something there, I guarantee it. It's just I'm no Eternal format expert. Anyway, next up we've got something I should probably translate. Okay, Dozing Tyrannodon. 2 problems with that. They translated it as Tyrannodon with a T, which is not a thing, and Pteranodon with a silent P, which is really just Pteranodon, is not that. So this is Dozing, whatever the hell this is. It's a 2-cost creature dinosaur, defender. Okay, 3/3, not bad. 3/3 for 2, kind of like Moat Piranha or whatever that card is. And this creature can attack as though it didn't have defender if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. Okay, so they took Moat Piranhas and actually made it useful. I mean, late game you start swinging, early game you block with it. This is pretty damn good. I mean, late game it would not be a great drop for 2, but, if you had something better to do with your mana, or if you have a bunch of creature ETB triggers like Beast Whisper or Great Henge, or hell, Wildborn Preserver. I mean, there's all kinds of ETB stuff that people do right now. So that's just a damn good card. Next up, we got Bramble Fist Oak. I'm starting to not trust these, though, so it could say anything. Kind of looks like a Bramble Fist Oak to me, though. And it's a treefolk. See, I freaking told you. Whenever you draw a card, Bramble Fist Oak gets +2/+2 till end of turn. Okay, so that's just lethal with Hydroid Krasis. Whoopsies. Once again, interesting, fun, fair, playworthy card, except for one tiny little detail, that is the state of standard right now. Man, this pisses me off. Really does. Next up, Frantic Inventory. It's a 2-cost instant blue. Draw a card, then draw cards equal to the number of cards named Frantic Inventory in your graveyard. Okay, so this is an identical functional reprint of another card. I forgot what it's called. It's like something Knowledge, except they just renamed it for some reason. Well, if you played both, they still wouldn't trigger each other. So, I mean, maybe is that what they're going for? I don't know. This is very strange. I don't think we needed 2 cards that did this. They could have just as easily reprinted that whatever card from like 20 years ago. Next up, we got Transmogrify. It's a 4-cost red sorcery. Exile target creature. That creature's controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card. Did they not learn from the other ones that do this? I don't know if you saw my community post, but that Lucca token sack 1 creature deck, they just took out Agent of Treachery and put in Trawler. Wizards, when you print something that says reveal until blah, people are going to Charbelcher it. They're going to run 1 target. They're going to hit that target every damn time. So put the phrase bare minimum non-token on the first part. Exile non-token target creature. Target non-token creature. Because then bare minimum, at least in theory, they'd have to run 2 different creatures in their deck and might whiff on it. Because if you have 1 Trawler out, you don't need to sack it to go get another Trawler. You know what I mean? Apparently I'm smarter than Wizards, but I think we all knew that at this point. So, that player puts that card onto the battlefield, then shuffles the rest, and yeah. Duh, we knew this. Raise the alarm, biggest creature in the game. Done, they didn't even say red. How fucking stupid are these people? Seriously, how fucking stupid? Now you can use token generating instants and sorceries and planeswalkers, and then use this or Lucca to go get the only creature in your deck. So whatever the most broken, degenerate, impossible to remove creature is, they're going to go get that and then just win the game with it. Not even that reliable of a win con necessarily, but that is basically Super Friends deck anyway. If you haven't seen it, it runs Sharknado as a back end, so they're going to win one way or another. And a lot of the rest of the deck is just board wipes. So it's disgusting that they would print another card that would make the already broken deck that already had one of its cards banned even worse. What an absolute fucking joke. So add that to the ban list. Next up, we got Goblin Arsonist. Oh boy, it's a 1-cost 1/1, and when it dies, you may have it deal 1 damage to any target. Don't care. Probably going to be some Rakdos sack bullshit, though. Oh wait, we have one that does more damage than that already. Oops. Next up, we got Heartfire Immolator. It's 2/2 for 2 human wizard with prowess. Oh goody. If you pay 1 red and sacrifice it, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. Wonderful! A self-sacrifice outlet card. That's what Rakdos Sacrifice needed, which just came in like first at a recent tournament. F you wizards, you clueless idiots. Next up, Hellkite Punisher. It's a 6/6 for 7. Flying, and you pay 1 and fire breathe it. Great. Fantastic. That's what we needed, was an aerial win con for this broken horse shit. I hate fire breathing. It is just inherently unfair. They constantly have the threat, so then you chump it. Oh, and then they don't have to spend the mana. Make it sorcery speed, dumbasses. Next up, finally, a red mythic. Are we finally going to see the garbage unplayable joke of a red mythic that they put in every set? I hope so. Probably not. Probably more broken shit. So it's a triple devotion 6-cost red enchantment. Oh, me. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Comma, Mark fucking Rosewater. You know this is a Mark fucking Rosewater card. So they didn't learn their lesson from Embercleave. They didn't learn their lesson from Torbrand. Now we've got Fiery Emancipation. If a source you control, not a red source by the way this time, it's just any source because it at this point. If any source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage to that permanent or player instead. Triple damage, not even color locked, as if anything would be okay with this if it was locked into red damage. Best thing is, my understanding is this stacks with Torbrand, so it would be 9 times damage. Well, if you ordered it correctly, whatever. Basically, a 1/1 could hit for like 12 with this bullshit out. Yes, it costs 6. Yes, that's a lot for red. No, I don't give a shit. Any other questions? This is an absolute disgrace. People not only are going to play this, they're probably going to cheat it into play for free. Magic has become an absolute fucking unplayable joke. Add this to the ban list. Next up, we've got Escorneador de Gorrk. I don't think I need to pull up a translation. It's a 7/3 for 5. Next up, Igneous Cur, that one card that gets summoned by that other one card. It's a 1/2 for 2, and if you pay 2, it gets double fire breathing, because why the f not? Why would you not want to put fire breathing on a 2-drop that you go get out of your deck for free? What would possibly be wrong with that? I wonder. Next up, the other card you go and get for free, Alpine Watchdog. It's 2/2 for 2 with Vigilance, and that's it. Well, I could see which one they liked better. Next up, Furious Rise. Please tell me we're near the end of these. I'm near the end of bullshit that I can put up with in one fucking day. Enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until you exile another card with Furious Rise. Yeah, great. Free card draw in red. That's never broken or degenerate ever. Just ask, Steamkin. Next up, Valorous Steed. 5-cost 3/3 with Vigilance. When it enters battlefield, create a knight. Wow, what a piece of shit. Next up, who's a good boy? Rambunctious Mud is. And he's an extra good boy because he's 5-cost 3/4, and when he enters the battlefield, destroy target artifact or enchantment and opponent controls. I'd rather just exile it for 3 and have my creatures be my creatures and my removal be my removal, but whatever. If you think you're going to get to 5 mana, go for it. Hopefully you can take out one of these broken degenerate piles of shit like Cavalcade, or that red enchantment we just read, or Wilderness Reclamation. Next up, we got Garruk's Tostados. Sounds delicious. He's 4 loyalty for 4 planeswalker, and +1 up to 1 target creature gains +3/+3 and trample until end of turn on a +1. Really? Did you meant to put a minus there? Then we got -2, create a 3/3 beast creature token, which honestly could be a +1. They really did honestly flip these. Then if an opponent controls more creatures than you, put a loyalty counter on Gorrk. Yeah, you're gonna need to. You just -2'd him, you dumbass. Seriously, that should have been the +1, and the other one should have been a maybe 1. I don't know if I'd pay 2 for that. And then -7, you get an emblem with at the beginning of your end step. You may search your library for a creature card and put it on the battlefield and shuffle your library. I mean, it's an emblem, whatever, but that's still pretty messed up. It's free casting. I hate it. But almost the only time when free casting is acceptable is when it's part of an emblem that's part of an ultimate that doesn't necessarily immediately and assuredly win the game. I mean, they could just keep blowing stuff away. You could bring out your biggest creature and it's not big enough to stop their stone coil snake thing. I mean, you never know. Like, it's not a guaranteed win con. This is actually one of the weaker ultimates. It looks good because it's unlimited free casting, but at least it doesn't go to the sideboard to go get it. Which, by the way, other green planeswalkers do. This is probably not a whole lot better than Dovin Bond. He goes and gets him 3 at a time, but you got to still pay for him. But you get 3 at a time. I don't know, overall pretty fair planeswalker. Little overpowered, but, you know, we've seen worse. Next up, we've got Geraldo de Gorrk, which is Garruk's friend, Geraldo. Uh-oh, better ban the card wizards because it says in Spanish, Anti-Maleficio contra Negro. Uh-oh, that sounds offensive to an ignorant dumbass. Like the same type of person that would say, you think the term los is offensive because it doesn't include females, even though that's how the entire language is structured, and nobody in their right mind who speaks Spanish thinks that that implies to men only. Yeah, those types. In other words, Twitter. So anyway, that actually means hexproof from black. Whenever Garruk's Herald deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, look at the same number of cards from it. No, that's not how it's going to be phrased in English. They phrase that effect differently, but whatever. From the top of your library, you may reveal a creature or Garruk planeswalker card from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Finally, an on-hit effect that also works with planeswalkers. Come on, I've been waiting for this forever. Also, it can fetch either a Garruk specifically or a creature. I like that. This is pretty good. Unfortunately, pretty good is not good enough for the standard meta right now. Absolutely unplayable, dead on arrival, sorry. Come back and see me after rotation. Maybe it'll be playable then. Next up, Vryn Wingmare. It's a 2/1 for 3. Flying and non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. I fucking hate this thing. I hated it last time it was printed. I hate it this time. I'm going to hate it in the future. And that's the last one. Good. I'm going to go do literally anything else with my life than contemplate how absolutely shit the meta is going to be when this pile of garbage drops on it. If you think I'm overreacting, once again, you're an ignorant dumb Get a clue and get a clue in a hurry. Look at the number of bans and look at the popular decks from 2017 and then 2018 and then 2019 and then 2020. Just the number of bans on a graph in all formats, and then look at the top decks of each quarter. And then come back and tell me that I'm wrong about saying that the State of Standard is too powerful and a lot of these cards are way pushed. Honestly, some people are that stupid in my comment section. I don't know if you noticed. Whatever, kudos to the other 95% of you who are smart enough to just post shit like, oh my god, I'm quitting Magic forever. Just looking at these makes me sick to my ass. You guys get it. So thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next video.